Hi, I'm Jim, and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop, and today we're going to take apart this differential and hopefully the chain case and see what I need to get this thing rebuilt. Got a bucket here to throw some bolts in. I was going to grab a putty knife and I forgot. This is the parts that was shipped to me from Pennsylvania, from Andy. I'm hoping I keep these videos in order, because if I did, the previous video will explain how I came about all these parts and what all he sent me. Now this is a extra tough series machine with the bearings. I suppose I could pull you over here a little closer. Now you could see a little better. And he did send some new parts. He sent a new bearing, because this one looks a little bit worn. I don't know, it's got a little slop in it. That's the that's got a few miles on it, I think. I did break these loose, so it wouldn't take quite so long to get it apart. I'm not sure if he's had this open before or not. He did send me a gear that goes inside of here, so I'm not really sure how he knew he needed that, unless he had this apart already. But if he did take it apart, he tightened everything back up good. We'll see if this will pop loose. I don't know, maybe he hasn't had this apart. I think I may have to put this in this tray. Because I don't know what's going to come out of it when I do open it up. There we go. Okay, we're going to have to get this out of here. And this is locked on with a set screw. Oh, too big. That one looked too small, but I guess it's not. We'll throw all these bolts in my ultrasonic cleaner. And we need a punch and a hammer. And you never know which way they turn that to lock it at the factory. So you basically just have to play with it to try to get it to break loose. There we go. Now if we can get it off there. Voila. Oh yeah, typical snapper lube. Does that look like it's still running and lubricating stuff? No, not really. Nothing surprises me. Now, to get this thing restored the way it was when it was built, I don't know if you can see, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pinion gears. This has the large gear in it. And I've started a fixture for rebuilding these 8 pinion gears. And I'm gonna go, I have a brand new 4 pinion gear I want to go grab because I want to compare these. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. This is a brand new 4 pinion gear. I bought this so when I get my fixture done, I can drill it and make an 8 pinion out of it. But what I want to check right now is the flats on this gear. And I'm seeing about 85 thousandths flat on the teeth. This one, I don't see much difference between this one and that one, to tell you the truth. I gotta get this up in the air here. There's a lot of crud in here. Well, the decision is up to him, but I would not change that gear. It does need cleaning. There's some pieces of the old gasket laying down in the pan, but I would clean it up good, and I'll do a little more checking on it. But from what I see right now, I wouldn't mess with that. It looks to be in really good shape. I'll have to clean that baby up because it is really gooey. Take care of this gear. And I'm going to have to get my fixture done pretty quick, I guess, because I've got about 3 months left and hopefully I'm going to retire. Probably, you know, I've been doing this for so many years. The first week or two, maybe the month, it's going to be great. But I think I'm going to miss it pretty much. Well, that thing just totally, there is no balls left in this bearing. They're just, I don't know where they are. I'm going to have to look for them. I don't see them at all. And hopefully when they fell out instead of in. So they didn't grind up any gears in here, but all these gears look good. This gear, I can feel there's wear in it, and this is the one he sent me. That's a new gear that meshes into this big one, and I can definitely feel, you can tell where that gear has been meshing and running against each other. Throw my rag down in there. So now let me get rid of this, and we'll pop open the chain case and see what that looks like, and I'll be right back. I broke a few things loose on this chain case, and we'll see what this looks like inside. Tip the camera down. I got the brake drum loose. It has a heavy duty washer and a cupped shaped washer. I don't know if you can tell that that's cupped or not. I don't have anything. Here we go. As you can tell now, you can see that that's crowned. And that is a lock washer. That is what that's for. And there is 2 lock washers on here. These are old school. They don't use these anymore. Bellevue, or I'm not sure how you pronounce the technical name for these, but they're basically a lock washer. They're totally old school and nobody uses them anymore. So let's flip this over. We'll take this clutch disc assembly off, which is in good shape. There's no problem with that. The bore looks nice, and so does the keyway. That's usually what goes bad with these. And I can't get that out. Sometimes them will pull right out, and others are really tough. I use a pair of these. Grab onto that bugger and just tip the pliers up. Pops it right out with no problems. And there is 2 more lock washers on this side. Now the cupped side goes up. You always want to put the side that's crowned against the bearing. And let's see, we'll take the brake off. Now this is the old style. A lot of people don't understand how these work. You've got a washer and you've got a little piece of tubing on here. And they put that on there because they're too cheap to buy shoulder bolts, which are pretty expensive. And the brake material on that looks fine as long as you got a nice flat edge on both sides. It's not down to a sharp edge. The brake is okay. You want to make sure this is turning, or it will help to wear out your yoke. And again, this old brake is activated by your yoke. When you push your clutch halfway in, it pulls your case away from the drive disc. And when you push it all the way down, the yoke comes up and hits this and applies the brake. A lot of people have got a hold of me and said, what is this lever for? There's nothing hooked to it. It can't be the brake. Well, yeah, it is. So we'll pop these the rest of the way out. I'm pretty sure we are going to replace the 4 bearings in this thing. We don't want any problems down the road. Again, the 63 tooth gear to me looks perfect. I would not change that, but I'll get it cleaned up good and see what it looks like at that point. Something has hit this. And you can see that that's bent over. We'll straighten that out. I found the best way to get these parts, use putty knife. You don't want to put a screwdriver in there and just force it open, or you can bend that. And these are expensive. Depending on the age of your machine, one of these covers alone are over $100. Well, that bearing fell right out. So hopefully the new one will press in here and stay there. Otherwise, I may have to dig out a case. Chain's a little loose. It's probably stretched out. We may have to replace that. What's that bearing feel like? Well, it feels smooth, but it's way too loose. So I would say that's wore out. The sprocket teeth don't look bad. It doesn't look that worn. I may reuse that. The chain, I'll replace the chain. Although I don't feel any movement. That's not bad. I mean, I don't know how much use this thing has had. Looking at that bearing in the back fender, I'd say it's got a few miles on it, but the rest of this stuff don't look bad. Little noise there on these needle bearings. Not bad, all things considered. I will work on getting this mess cleaned up, either some more today or tomorrow, and we'll get back with another video on putting this thing together, looking at what we need as far as parts. I don't see where I'm going to need a lot of stuff as much as I thought. By seeing how bad that bearing was, I figured everything is going to be wore out, but it doesn't really look all that bad. So I guess about all I can do right now. We'll come back with another video and show you what all this mess looks like cleaned up, and then we'll do one reassembling all this and getting it going for Andy. He did tell me, take your time. Since I was working, I don't remember if he said what he was working on or if he did or not, but he was on a ladder, and he did say it was a plastic ladder. He was coming down the ladder, and I think he said he was on the second step from the bottom and the ladder broke. He said, I went down and I broke one of the bones in his foot or in his leg, and he said, so I'm not going to be in a hurry to get this back going. I guess it's a season for breaking parts. So my wife fell down almost 2 weeks ago and smashed her wrist, and she's got a really awesome plate in there with some screws. And I said, well, if it ever gives you problems and they take it out, we're going to have a really cool keychain. So until next time, work safe, have fun, and I'll talk to you soon. So long.